All from the Facebook page for Newcastle Fans TV. Yeah, I think hell has truly frozen over. I'd say Mike Ashley got his fucking checkbook out, but that would obviously be a complete and utter fabrication. Although the cash was splashed finally yesterday, that was courtesy of a Barclays funding arrangement, which we now have, which I believe is very similar to lots of other Premier League clubs. However, the likes of Keys, Gray, Ferdinand, etc. have all been wanking over how, but the debt-free, the only money they owe is to the owner. Well, that puts an absolute fucking hole in one of your major arguments, doesn't it? You absolute bunch of cockwombles. Yeah, we've got this funding arrangement. It's paid for the Almiron deal and obviously the fullback as well, which cost another $1 million to do the loan. I'm over the moon with the captures. I think when you consider it with regards to recent transfer windows, it has to be looked at as, you know, on the whole, a positive thing. But in all honesty, in the big scheme of things, you know, everybody's really getting excited and everything about this transfer. But this should be the norm for a club like Newcastle United. Bournemouth and the likes, you know, Burnley, they do these deals quite often. There's championship clubs that do these deals quite often, yet we're getting, you know, overly excited. Yes, it's fantastic, it's exciting, it's something positive to focus on, but this should be the absolute norm for a club of Newcastle size. You know, that it's been 14 years for us, or, you know, whatever it is exactly, but 14 years or whatever, that it's taken to break this transfer record in the first place is an absolute criminal disgrace. And it's a sad indictment of, you know, the way that the club is run, basically. And obviously that's down to that one man and one man only, Mike Ashley. This, to me, it still reeks of PR. It still reeks of Keith Bishop and his doings. They are determined and they are desperate to get Rafa to sign a contract, whether that's a 12-month contract, a 12-month rolling contract, I've heard, a 3-year contract, a 5-year contract. They are desperate to get his name on a piece of paper to keep him tied to the club because of obviously all the positive impact that it has. You only have to listen to Almiron yesterday, who spoke about Rafa Benitez repeatedly as one of the main reasons why he joined the club. But you factor that in with the fact that he's got the fans on side, the fan base on side, he's keeping the fans coming in. He is getting miraculous performances out of a really stretched squad. And you can see why he wants to do it. And of course, it does help in the bigger picture, in the bigger scheme of things, of trying to sell the club, doesn't it? Because a football club with Rafa Benitez as manager, as opposed to a football club with John Carver or somebody of that quality, you can see it's a lot more sellable of an asset with Rafa in. And he also knows that he can spend less and get more. When you've got a crapper manager in, you've got to compensate that with better players to make up for it. You've only got to look at the situation with regards of the likes of what Steve McLaren. He needed more players in, basically, because he was absolute turd. And it's, you know, it proves a point, doesn't it? But yeah, overly, you've got to be, I think it's relief more than anything that we finally got the monkey off our back. We've got this signing in. He will be a welcome addition to the squad. Such a shame that he isn't eligible for this weekend, Almiron. But we'll be there. I'm looking forward to being there for the Wolves game, where he should make his debut, most likely probably off the bench, isn't it? As he begins a sort of acclimatization with the weather outside at the moment, and acclimatization, you know, to the English Premier League and the physicality of it all and everything. So yeah, you've got to say a satisfactory window yesterday, nothing more, nothing less. I think 7 went out, 2 come in. The players who went out, by and large, were players who weren't really going to get anywhere near the first team, with obviously the noticeable exception of Murphy. They are paying his wages in full, and they've paid a loan fee to secure his services. And I think if that works out well, and as expected, West Brom go up in the summer, I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of deal whereby Gale and Murphy go down there and we get Rondon and and probably some cash. It'll have to be some cash coming back to us, because so they're getting two younger players, and we're getting a player. Obviously, it was running down a contract, and obviously his age and everything. So no doubt, Mike Ashley will be scurrying about to make sure that happens and he gets a few more quid in, because you just never know where the next shop that'll be going tits up. He was buying a bloody cake or sandwich shop earlier in the week. Surprise, surprise. Now he's buying a sofa shop. It's just every day, isn't it? There is something else for that man. He's got to buy somebody over. To me, I'm still wanting to know where the money's gone. We shouldn't have to be going to Barclays when you think about the Mitrovic money, the Premier League money that's already been paid in on over numerous payments. There should be money there. There should be no reason why we're going to Barclays to get Premier League money that is due, even if it is shortly. We shouldn't have to do that. So that reeks of shit a bit for me, and it's certainly something that needs bringing up at the not fast forum, is it? Sorry about that. The fans forum. Yeah, it's not a fast forum. That's if it goes ahead, because you never know. Like, been cancelled before, hasn't it? Charlie might want a pedicure or something like that, or you know, could be anything. Just spin the roulette wheel of excuses and he'll probably come out with something absolute horseshite. Yeah, that's coming up shortly. We've obviously got a member of the team who's on that. So we will see what's what, or certain members of the team will find out what maybe, but and certain of us may not. But never mind. We are travelling down to Wembley tomorrow. Fingers crossed this snow does one pretty urgently, to be honest. Like I say, it must have been because the checkbooks were opened at St James's Park. Hell's freezing over, and this is the consequence of that. But yeah, we're going to be setting off. It's going to be in a very, very early start for the game against Spurs tomorrow. We go down there with a bit more confidence. Baraka, he can play. I keep wanting to say Baraka, pity the fool. But yeah, he'll be in the squad, no doubt. Probably again on the bench, and we wait obviously on Almiron. I think we can do something down there. It would be typical of Newcastle to get something, wouldn't it? And then when you get to the easier games, as they call them, probably slip up. But yeah, I think we've got to go down there. We've got to target something, because there's some teams who are around about us who are playing each other. So it's really important we just keep this positive momentum going. And then we roll on. Then again, obviously to Wolves, add Almiron to the mix, see what that does. And then it'll be into some home matches finally, and then get it into this fast forum and find out, you know, what the crack is on a few questions around finance, I think, and also with regards to the takeover, which has gone absolutely deadly quiet. Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? You know, it could be looked at. It's good because the NDAs, if there was something negative would have happened, then surely Kenyon would have come out. But I would like to see a little bit of smoke, just so we know it's still alive. Like, you need to prod it to make sure it's alive and everything. But surely that is going to be raised at the fast forum that's coming up very, very shortly. Because it would be fantastic. I mean, I don't think anything with regards to the takeover will happen shortly anyway, because why take the risk? If you're buying the club, you might as well wait till at least we're safe. And probably with that as well, if we were to become safe and Rafa was to get the assurances he wants, that would probably be the time that he would announce a new deal. I can't really see, when you sit and reflect on it, I can't really see him signing anything in the very, very short term, Rafa Benitez, because what would the point be? Better to make sure that we are a Premier League club, and then he signs up to that and he gets certain assurances in, because the closer that it gets to squeaky bum time and his contract running down, maybe he might be able to force Ashley's chubby little short arm just a little bit more to be able to get more written assurances that he will be able to run the club correctly, rather than the cockwomble that is Lee Charnley doing it. Because subsequent, and like I say, totally opposite to what Ashley said before, where he waffled shit saying that Lee Chanley reports to Rafa. I think it's been very evident over the past few weeks and from what's been said, and talking about Rafa being patient and this, that and the other, that it's Lee Chanley who is got his hands, his dirty, absolutely grubby little hands on the controls at Newcastle United. He's not got a clue. The bloke's inept. He shouldn't be in charge of the cleaning cupboard, the photocopy suppliers. I wouldn't even trust him to make me a fucking cup of tea. How he is in employment, Chuff only knows. You've got to get somebody who knows what's what. So either a proper football administrator, or give the reins to somebody like Rafa, who's been there, seen it, got the t-shirt. He knows what's what. And I've said it all along. I've said it through the bad spells, the good spells, the indifferent spells. He's the best thing to happen to this club in a long time. Yes, the brand of football isn't exactly what I want. I can remember back to Ruud Gullit and his sexy football, Kevin Keegan and the entertainers. I can remember all of that. And yeah, I like good attacking quality football with goals and everything. But, yeah, if you've got to take into account the whole context, what the club is in, the players, the lack of investment. Even yesterday, 7 goals out, 2 goals in. It's, again, stretching that squad. Yes, we're bringing in quality, certainly. Potential quality, I'll add to that. But numbers-wise, again, it's just been, sort of drawn out. And we've still got the situation with Hayden. So we've got to continue and hope that he continues in that vein of trying to be as professional as he can whilst he is under contract to Newcastle United. No doubt he will be sold at some point in the summer. I think that would be sensible. We can bring in obviously the reinforcements that is needed. It gives Longstaff a little bit more time to get embedded into the first team picture. So that to me makes much more logical sense. And hopefully by then we've got Rafa under a longer term contract. Ashley to finally find the money wherever it's magically been hidden at. We all remember what he said about accountants and what they can do with figures and stuff, don't we? But hopefully he can find that cash and give Rafa Benitez the tools to do the job. We get Premiership safety, Premier League safety this year, and then we fight on. We've got to push up. We cannot, as a club of this size, with the fan base that we've got and everything we've got going for us, we cannot be fighting relegation battles season in, season out. And we deserve a cup run. So these are things that need addressing. I just really wish that it wasn't another member of our team in this vast forum, and that it was myself, because I would love the opportunity to put some questions towards the Cowboys that were our club. I really would. Because I still think it's all nicey-nicey. The pressure needs to be kept on. The pressure still needs to be ramped up where we can get to Ashley. We can't let them sit there and feel comfortable that we've signed 2 players in and we've broke the transfer record. This should be an every year recurrence. The money that comes into the club, we should be spending. It shouldn't be a miracle that we're spending 20 million, 21 million on a player. We should feel relaxed and confident that come the next transfer window, we will invest again, and that the club is trying to be the best that it can. Because I don't think previously that the club, the hierarchy at the club, have always done that. I want the best for Newcastle United. I know that everybody else on the team here wants the best for Newcastle United, and the fan base does. You want a decent run at the league where we're not fighting relegation. You know that unless the massive investment or something major happens, like a Leicester, the league-wise, potentially could we get the into Europe? That has to be an aim. But the cups, why we don't attack the cups? It's gutting to see the FA Cup, how that's panning out at the moment, because, again, fantastic opportunity. But next season, we've got to, in the league and FA Cup, really, really have a go for it. Because it would be absolutely fantastic. We owed a cup run. Goodness me, it's been bloody dire. And like I said, before Ashley came, I remember we were spoilt. We had quarterfinals, semi-finals, finals. Yeah, we didn't win the cups and stuff, but we had cup runs, and it was just that magic and what could happen. I I can vividly remember these nights, unbelievable memories. But again, the club our size shouldn't be having to rely on memories from this far ago. It's 50 years since we've won out. You know, why can't we do something next year? So let's get the Rafa situation sorted out. Let's get the financing of this club sorted out. Let's hopefully get some new owners and a new drive for next season. But like I say, it starts tomorrow. Let's have a good finish to the season. Let's pull away from this god-awful relegation battle. This dogfight on at the bottom. And look forward to better times in the future. Anyway, we'll keep bringing you more on the page as we get it. Rambled on a little bit more than I wanted to, but well, que sera. And we will see you tomorrow down at Wembley.